Did this, fall in revenue last year surprise you?
Totally. Actually, in fact, like when we saw February last year, the gaming revenue was up 40% that month. And by the end
And it just seemed like, how could it keep on growing at that sort of level, though? That was the thing.
Kind of the mentality. But unfortunately, at the end of the year, in December, you saw that we had a negative 30% growth.
Well, that's the thing. Is it all, can we put it all down to Xi Jinping's move against corruption, move against the graft here as well, which has, of course, led to people not spending quite as lavishly as they did before?
A little bit of everything. I think Xi Jinping's campaign, anti-corruption, is a big part. But on the other hand, the China economy slowed down. Plus, for Macau government, I think they also feel like it's the time to put more control on the industry after the industry has like 30% plus growth for the last 5 years. So they think it's a time to do a review or to do some more controls.
All right, well, that's just here as well. But, I mean, we get so much capacity coming on at the end of this year on the Cotai Strip and also early next year. How does this work out? How does that play into all this?
I think, first of all, we need to figure out the new normal, meaning like after all the new measures, the tightening, where the new normal will settle. But at the end of the day, we still think all the new supply will still help to some extent, because even in this kind of environment, I don't think we have enough hotel rooms. So one of the key things the new supply will bring is the extra hotel rooms. Because at the end of the day, even if you give the hotel rooms for free to gamblers, they will generate some type of GGR. So I think it will still help. But of course, at the end of the day, it won't be those projects we used to enjoy 50% ROIC, 50. But now it may be in 10 or 15%.
That is what you were calling the new normal,
Yes.
right? Well, okay, you've got the VIP side, you've got the mass marketing side, mass market, should I say, side. Now, VIP is what's really causing the damage, is it not?
VIP, in our view, still have more downside or potential risk because, like, I think one of the Xi Jinping messages, like, Macau need to improve the supervision and regulations on gaming. And
also diversify their economy a bit.
Exactly. So, like, VIP by default may have a bit higher risk because of the amount of money being involved. So if any measures related to AML, anti-money laundering, that probably will hurt VIP more than mass market.
So when do things have you could argue, a cyclical turnaround even?
I think at the end of the day, we still believe in the secular growth. And the cyclical turnaround also will come too, because part of that, for example, I think one of the slowdown reasons is the slowdown of the property market in China.
Yeah, but let's face it, nothing grows in a straight line, does it, at the end of the day?
I agree. But one thing is, bottom line is, like, if you look at the demand and supply picture, we are still only having 35 casinos for the whole China. It's still very imbalanced. So long term, as long as China economy is growing, the propensity to travel and gambling still there, and probably will grow along with the economy. And we think we will get back to the growth mode. But before that, maybe there's still some adjustment.
But other people want to get in the act as well here, don't they? I mean, we've seen what Singapore's done. We've got also Taiwan perhaps coming into the mix. The Philippines too, and even Japan considering also having these
But
casinos.
in the next 5 years, I think like the tangible new casinos that we can really spot in the region is really a few in Philippines, a few in Vietnam, maybe 1 or 2 in Korea. So, like, adding up together, we're talking about 6, 7 casinos, not a major numbers.
Okay, Billy, let's also just look at the individual stocks here, the individual companies. Now, the thing is, they've been beaten down so much, losing half their value, some of them, and more. Now, the point is this reaction normally does mean that equity prices do overshoot. Have we overshot? Because that sort of is pricing in a lot of doom and gloom, is it not? And if so, is this now the bottom for these equities?
I think it's we tried to call the bottom many times last year, but fell.
So you were catching a falling knife with
I think I will wait a little bit, but in terms of valuation, I think they definitely close to the support level. Why we said that? Because if you look at a lot of names, they do give you 6% plus yield.
Right. I mean, but which ones do you actually look at then? Do you look at the ones which have the most exposure to the mass market, or?
At this point, we will love to have names like have more dividend and also mass market exposure.